Hey, this is Gabriel, Triple Crown thru hiker and son of a chef. I wanted to bring you into the kitchen today and show you what I prepare for bikepacking and backpacking trips, whether it's 1 day or 4 months. I'll show you some recipes that I use that can be prepared ahead of time for easy use in the backcountry. All of these recipes can stand alone. However, some of them can really benefit by adding something perishable, such as cheese, tortillas, or even fresh vegetables. I want to not only show you the recipes that I sometimes use, but I also want to show you how I create a recipe. We'll go through a few points here. Number 1, nutrition and caloric value. I try to aim for a balance of carbohydrate, protein, and fats that will aid in recovery and fueling for any type of activity. A lot of people focus on protein as a key factor. This is a pretty easy thing to accomplish just by mixing a grain and a legume. Beans and rice noodles and peanuts, couscous and lentils. Any of these combinations will work great. Number 2 is cook time. Who wants to come into camp and cook for 3 hours to eat dinner? Most meals should be able to be prepared in somewhere between 5 and 12 minutes. Number 3 is ease of use. It is a little bit easier to get complicated at home, and I can dehydrate foods and mix complicated ingredients. But in the backcountry, you want something that you can just pour into a pot and go. Number 4 is flavor composition. I could go for some Asian rice noodles, or Cuban black beans and rice, well, that's 2 rice things, or some sort of Middle Eastern couscous and lentils. Number 5 is supplemental things that you can add. If you've had a huge day out, it might be nice to add some cheese to your beans and rice for more calories. Sometimes on shorter trips, for anywhere up to 3 nights, we might bring some fresh vegetables. A head of kale, some cabbage, a bell pepper, and these can be nice to add as well. So I have here a spice mix and some ingredients for an Asian peanut noodle dish. Here we have 1 tablespoon of toasted rice powder. This is an ingredient that is not too common, however you will find it at a lot of Asian markets. Here we have 1 teaspoon of 5-spice powder, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. We have 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and not garlic salt, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 vegetable bouillon cube, and 30 grams of crushed peanuts. Here we have some Asian rice noodles or rice sticks. I'm going for a 2-person serving, so we're going to add 100 grams. We'll call that good. We have our spice mix, which I showed previously. Add this to 2 cups of boiling water and cook for about 7 minutes until the noodles are soft. For any more caloric value or punch, you can add peanut butter or some fresh vegetables if you happen to bring those with you. I am an omnivore. I eat everything. I even bake sourdough, so I'm not gluten-free. However, a lot of these dishes are really easy to make vegan and gluten-free. Next, I'm going to do a simple preparation of some rice and beans. A commonly available product at a lot of health food stores is something like these. Organic refried beans. This comes from Taste Adventure. I've also seen them from Fantastic Foods. These are dry, dehydrated, and basically cook instantly. For anyone who might call me out on this, yes, I did a lot of cold cooking on my thru hikes. And that meant that I would just put couscous and beans into a peanut butter jar and let it slosh around for a half hour until it was sufficiently hydrated. This is a great product for something like that. You can hydrate them instantly, spread them on tortillas, and you have a great lunch. However, mixed with rice, spices, and some cheese, they make a delicious dinner. Here we have some instant boil in a bag rice. You can get this white or brown rice. There are grocery store brands, organic brands, Uncle Ben's, Success, etc., and it cooks in just a few minutes. This bag is about 100 grams, so once again, we're going to make a 2-person meal. With the scale and the bowl tiered at 0, I'm going to add this rice. We're going to add about 40 to 50 grams of instant black beans. And about 150 grams of rice and beans equals somewhere between 550 and 600 calories. We're going to add our spice mix, which is cumin, oregano, cayenne, chili powder, salt, chicken base, garlic powder, and onion powder. The rice can take a little bit longer to cook, so if you like, you can keep the beans separate and add them later. This will prevent the need to constantly stir to keep the beans from sticking to the bottom of the pot. And here we have a simply prepared rice and bean meal, which is about 600 calories and is enough for one big meal or maybe 2 small meals. Adding 4 to 8 ounces of cheese can add a lot of calories and, of course, some additional flavor. While on a car camping trip last spring, our friend asked routinely, are we having rice and beans or are we having beans and rice? And is it rice and black beans or rice and pinto beans? And I don't really get tired of rice and beans, honestly, but there are a lot of other flavors that I do like to explore. Cassoulet is a white bean soup or stew from the Toulouse region in France, and it is typically made with duck confit and sausage. We can approximate this in the backcountry. We can't approximate this in the backcountry. We don't have duck confit. So this is a quasi-French white bean soup, basically. And if you want to take it to the next level, you could certainly bring some preserved andouille sausage or something like that. So here I have white beans, or cannellini beans, some jalapenos, some red bell peppers, a vegetable bouillon cube, black pepper, salt, rosemary, and thyme. Another key ingredient that I like to add to this is some dried parsley. Making these meals from scratch is not only a good way to save money, but is also a great way of knowing exactly what you are eating.